Okay. What inspired you to be a professional pastry chef?
I've always been fascinated with baking and the art of decorating, and people always seem to take for granted that it takes time to actually make the pastries themselves. It's not just something we throw together. And feel that I have dedicated myself to understanding and getting more experience so that I can maybe help people enjoy the taste of food.
Hmm. What highlights from your training or experience is relevant to this position?
There have been various times where I have assisted my classmates with trying to prepare different pastries because sometimes we don't know it all. And this has taught me how to be a better teacher toward them while also gaining a understanding towards myself on what I need to learn.
What are some of your favorite flavor combinations?
Oh, I have so many different flavors. My first one is raspberry and chocolate. That could go well in any pastry, but also in candies. And then there's the chocolates. There's the dark chocolate cake and a chocolate mousse and a cocoa liqueur fudge icing. And I love those.
When you're not at work, where do you go for your great pastry?
Even when I'm not at work, I am actually in the kitchen baking all the time. So I really don't go out to actually get a pastry.
Okay. How do you manage your time when you make multiple dessert orders at once?
When I have to make multiple dessert orders at once, I would start with the one that has to cool off the longest. That way,
Mm-hmm.
while that is cooling off, I can move on to something else that won't take as long. And then when it is cool, I can progress to that specific
Cool.
pastry.
What are some common substitutions for diabetic or vegan pastries?
There's, instead of white flour, you can use a nut flour or a wheat flour. Instead of sugar, coconut sugar.
Cool.
Instead of eggs, mashed bananas would work really well in pastries also.
Okay. How would you react if a customer sent back one of your dishes?
I would first observe the dish to see if there was anything wrong, see if there had been any kind of contamination,
Mm-hmm.
and then if there was nothing visibly wrong, I would ask the waiter to find out specifically what the customer did not like about it so that maybe I could change it in the future to better suit people's tastes.
How well do you handle sharing a workspace with others?
The kitchen is always filled with so many different work people. If we can't share, then it wouldn't progress as well as it should. It would be a teetotal mess and it would never work the way it should.
Describe a time where you had to work with others to achieve a goal.
At El Centro College, there's this spring event called Bits and Bites.
Mm-hmm.
And we have different restaurateurs come in, set up their food stands, but they need help from the students and the staff to help get it all set up. And if we couldn't work together, it wouldn't be a success for the restaurateurs. It would not be a success for the school because if we can't get along, then it would cause problems.
Mm-hmm. How does this position fit into your career goals?
My goal has always been to work with pastries, but even though it's not a field where you would imagine it helping people, I can still help people. I can help people learn how to bake. I can help people with their proper techniques in the kitchen, not just for baking, because certain cutting techniques transfer into the kitchen with cooking also.